Well, the booming voice of Gordon McRae in our national anthem, and a kind of a highlight here. If it hasn't already occurred, I may have missed it, but I don't think I did. Tommy John is supposed to throw out the first ball, and of course, the reason for that being a big occasion here is he's probably as instrumental as anybody in the Dodgers' success, and particularly over the first half of the year. But he suffered an arm injury, and he is slated to throw out the first ball. John had a record of 13-3 before he was sidelined with a bad elbow. Earned run average 2.59, and should have been on the All-Star team, but somehow was bypassed by Yogi Berra, and quite a bit of controversy about that. At least John thought so. He pitched so well. The Dodgers defensively. Well, now it's time for the throwing out of the first ball, and you can listen to John Ramsey introduce Tommy John.
Into the championship series. He'll throw it right-handed, but here he is, the National League All Percentage winner of 1974, our first ball door today, Tommy John.
Tommy John throwing out the first ball, and he has his left arm in a cast. He'll be back next year. Doug Rao out on the mound, and a record of 13 wins and 11 defeats. He's 6'2", 175-pounder at age 25. Kind of tender for pitching in the major leagues, and a lifetime record in the big leagues of just 19 wins and 15 defeats. This is his second year. He's had 3 starts against the Pirates this year. Has had 2 no decisions, and he lost the ball game. Pirates beating him in Pittsburgh 7-3, knocking him out in the 5th inning. He had a no decision here on June the 5th, and also in Pittsburgh on the 30th, against Pittsburgh here on August the 30th. Richie Zisk has hit him for a couple of home runs, if memory serves me right. And Zisk has been the only long ball bat we've had against the Dodgers. We've hit 4 home runs off them over the season. In the 12 ball games played, the Pirates winning 8 of the 12, and he has hit 3 of those home runs. But the big thing for the Pirates, their backs are against the wall, and they cannot afford any more losses, or 1974 is history, and they'll be heading back home to do some hunting, fishing, or playing golf, or whatever it might be in the off-season. The Dodgers, of course, with the victory, will be opening up the World Series in this ballpark on Saturday. With regard to the Pirates' travel plans, and it's all, of course, predicated on what happens in the next 3 days here, but regardless of whether the Pirates lose today or lose tomorrow, they would fly out the day after the game. And should the game go 5 games, in other words, if it goes the full 5 games, and the Pirates win or lose in the 5th game, they would fly out immediately following the game. Now, for you people in the Pirate family, and those awaiting friends or relatives with the Pirate group to be coming back to Pittsburgh, you might keep that in mind and pass that message along. The Pirate charter will leave tomorrow should the Pirates lose here today, and should they lose tomorrow after winning today, they would fly out on Thursday. Big discussion at home plate between Lee Wire, John McSherry, Crawford, Davidson, Colosi, and Pryor, and also Tommy Lasorda. And I think it's in relation to the box seats that have been added down the left and right field line that have been put out on the warning track. They Joe from the left field line, midway down the foul line toward the Dodger dugout, and likewise in the right field corner, from the right field corner on the foul line, all the way down midway to the Pirate dugout on the first base side. Now, what the ground rules will be on that, I don't know, but Stargell and Tommy Lasorda trying to find out exactly what they will be and to make sure that they have them correct. About 3 or 4 rows of seats have been put out there to take care of more customers and more box seats, I'm sure. But this is a sellout here. There are some vacant seats, but no tickets were available. It is called a complete sellout. The official scorers for today's game, Bob Smizek of the Press and Bob Hunter of the Los Angeles Herald-Examiner. Game number 3, ready to go, and the Pirates, backs against the wall, send up Stennett, Sankey, and Oliver against left-hander Doug Rao. He's a graduate of Texas A&M University, and he was the Dodgers' #1 draft pick in the secondary phase of the draft in 1970 in January. Not a power pitcher, good off-speed pitcher, and that's what dominated things In the two previous games, Sutton a much more powerful pitcher, but his selection of pitches is what the Pirates talked about, and Rao going to try to go that same route. Rennie hitless in the series, 0 for 7, wound up the season with 196 hits and a 291 average. Here's the opening pitch of the game by Rao. It is up high, ball one. Rao commenting on television here, stating that Stinnett, Oliver, and Sanguin will hit just about anything you throw up there. You don't have to throw them straight. Well, we'll see how it goes. Hard shot out the right side, base hit by Stinnett. Hit well past Davy Lopes into right field. Now Stinnett gets his first hit, and the Bucks get the leadoff batter on here in the first inning. That is the Pirates' 13th hit, and their 13th single. Long ball power has been absent so far, and of course run production too. Now, this ball club has scored runs before, and you can't expect a club that hit 274 and drove in 692 runs over the season to continue to be throttled like this. And it's been one of the mysteries of the two previous ball games. Good pitching certainly will dominate good hitting, but they did not feel, and Messersmith either, that he pitched a very good ball game, but he got away with it. Sutton, yes, he did pitch well. Throw to first and Stinnett back. The pitch by Rao to Sanguin, and it's in at the knees, taking strike one. He didn't like the call. Lee Wire, the home plate umpire. John McSherry at first, Crawford at second, Davidson is at third base. The left field umpire, Nick Colosian, in right field, Paul Pryor. Sanguin didn't like that call at all. Stepped out on Wire. The pitch to Manning, swings and misses on an off-speed pitch, strike two. The Dodgers play Sanguin to pull the ball. That is in left in center field. But the right fielder, Crawford, playing straight away. So there's a big, huge gap in right center field for Manning. He can hit that way, and he's a better hitter when he does. Here's the pitch. Foul, back out of play, and the count holds at 0-2. The Dodgers tomorrow will come back with Don Sutton. If it goes to 4 games, and the Bucks will come back with Jerry Rice. And the Pirates are hopeful of extending that thing. Stinnett leads from first. The pitch is bounced right to second base. Then Lopes makes the play on Stinnett. Throw to first, double play. Sanguin bounces into a 4-3 double play. Yeah, the Bucks again can't seem to get anything going here. Sanguin hitting a ball very weakly to second baseman Lopes. He tagged Stinnett. No, he didn't get him. He's safe at second base. It looked like he made the tag at second base, and it is not a double play. Stinnett gets into scoring position. Sanguin shrugging his shoulders like he had bounced into a double play, and kind of dejectedly turns the dugout. But the out at second base was not forthcoming, and the out goes just 4-3. Well, the Bucks get a runner into scoring position, and Oliver the batter. He's had 1 hit in 8 times at bat, a single off Say's glove in the second game to drive in our second run. He takes a fastball up high from the left-hander Rao, ball one. Al finished the season with a .321 average and had more hits this year than any time in his major league career, 198. Stinnett at second base, and the Pirates trying to break out in top. They haven't led at all in this series in the previous 18 innings. The 1-0 pitch, low and outside, ball 2. Rao trying to get Oliver to chase the ball, and I asked him why the Pirates haven't hit well in this series with a difficult seam of ball with the bright sun and fall time of the year. He said no. He said, to be quite honest with you, I had only 1 pitch in 8 times at bat in Pittsburgh that I thought was really a hittable pitch. And I jammed myself on that one. The 2-0 pitch, swings and misses, chase a bad pitch, strike one. Ball up around the chin on Al. 2 balls and a strike. Well, a happy birthday today to Danny Murtaugh, number 57 for the Irishman. A good present to extend it another day for him. Stinnett at second, 1 down, the pitch, and it's outside, a breaking ball, ball 3. You've got to believe that Doug Rao has to have some adrenaline flowing through him. This is the first time he's been in a postseason ball game, and just 25 years of age, only his second year in the big league. And the first inning at best can be hairy. This is the time if the Bucks are going to do something, they might do it. The 3-1 pitch. Foul, and back and almost in our broadcasting booth, just above it. And a count of 3-2 on Oliver. Kind of a humid day in Overcast here in Los Angeles. Not very hot. An unusual type of weather for Southern California. Haven't seen the sun since we came out here. The 3-2 pitch now. He fouls off the mask of the home plate umpire, Lee Wise. Well, a graduate of Texas A&M and had a brilliant academic career there, 3.85 average, and has a degree in economics. Well, with a baby face. He and Heaton are kind of similar in that regard. They're young, but they look even younger. 3-2 pitch. Fly ball, foul down the left field line. It's out of play. Oliver hanging tough on 3-2, fouling off a number of pitches. With Stenner at second base, he opened with a single, sagged in, bounced weakly to Lopes, and looked like he turned in a double play as he tagged Stennett from our viewpoint, but he did miss him, said second base umpire Shag Crawford, and Stennett in at second, and the count at Oliver still at 3-2. The outfield pretty straight away against Al. And they're deep. Stennett inching off at second. The look there, the pitch to Oliver. Curve is just inside, ball 4. They had a good breaking ball that Rao tried to bend over the inside corner, but it hung up high, and he misses the walk. That'll bring up Stargell.
Willie Stargell.
Oliver draws a walk. Stennett at second base, one down, and Stargell about him. He brings some big credentials into this ball game. 3-0 average, 25 home runs, 96 RBIs, and if people here fully remember his lusty hitting here, first and only guy to hit a ball out of this ballpark. Off Alan Foster a couple of years ago. Pitched by Rao on a curve is in there, taking strike one. Willie has hit a tailspin ever since the Saturday ball game a week ago in New York when he slid into second base and injured his knee. He's had, however, 3 hits and 7 at-bats in this series, but all of them single, one of them a check swing. The 0-1 pitch. High fly to right field, deep. Back is Crawford looking at the wall. He can't get it. Home run, Stargell. Well, it had to happen sometime. The first extra base hit of the series for the Pirates. And the big guy who can do it, Stargell, wraps it out of here. And the Pirates jump out in front for the first time, 3-0.
Number 22. Right field. Richie Smith.
Well, you had to expect it sometime. As I mentioned, a club that hits 274 and has had 114 home runs and driven in 692 can't be bottled up forever. You begin to wonder those games in Pittsburgh, but very quickly, they've erupted for 3. Here's the pitch to this, gets inside, ball 1, and the Dodgers have activity in their bullpen. Looks like Charlie Huff throwing. The pitch to Ritchie is a curve that just caught the outside corner for a strike. The Bucks out in front, 3-0. The count of 1-1 on this. Only one out here in the top of the first. Ground ball hit weakly to short off the end of the bat. Bill Russell, easy play on this, retires him. 2 down, nobody on, and Bobby Robertson will make his debut in this 1974 championship playoff. He had a whale of a series against the San Francisco Giants in 1971 when the Pirates won it all. Hit 3 home runs in 1 ball game and had 4 in that championship series in 71. Hit .438, drove in 6 runs. And he takes the strike. Robertson's had only 54 hits this year. 16 of them have been home runs, and with 54 hits, he's driven in 48 runs. The 0-1 pitch to Bobby, up high, moved away from him, 1 ball and 1 strike. And Long, a happy birthday to Bill Cagney. A little bit day late, but happy birthday, Bill. This Pirate fan. Foul, out of play down the right field line, and a count of 1-2. Pirates have been down a lot of times this season. I think Murtaugh put it pretty well. He said this ball club's been counted out about 10 times, but somehow they're still here playing baseball in October. And they're trying to do that same thing here in a big game for them in the 74 championship. Curveball inside. Rao thought he had a strike and started to walk off, but brought back by Lee Wire, the count of 2-2. Bucks at one time 9.5 games out and 14 games under 500 and going nowhere. But they turned it around. The 2-2 pitch hit foul off third. And it all goes back to a date in July, the 14th of July, and a Donnybrook they had with Cincinnati with the guy pitching today, Bruce Keeson. And from that time on, the Bucks moved on to play excellent baseball and captured their 4th Eastern Division title, winning it on the final game of the season. In the wildest game you've ever seen. The 2-2 pitch. Check swing, hit weakly off the right side. Garvey hopped to take it unassisted. No, it throws on to Rao, who was late covering, and he missed the bag. Rao missing the bag at first base. He didn't break when the ball was hit to the right side. He was late covering. He had the ball in time, but somehow missed the bag at first base. Oh, Rao falling asleep on that check swing by Robertson, and that is ruled as, I think, an error. There has not been a ruling yet, but it has to be an error. They say on the first baseman. Well, I'd question that one, too. The pitcher never did cover in time, and that made the play even more difficult. Garvey had to go to his right a good 15 feet to get the ball, and had an easy out there if Rao broke quickly. Here's a pitch to Hebner stepping in. First ball hitting, fouls off the first base side. Strike one. For some reason, they gave the error to the first baseman. And the pitcher just missed the bag at first base. It's funny kind of ruling. Curveball away on Hebner. 1 ball and 1 strike. Most pitchers get caught on a situation like that with a right-handed batter hitting the ball to the opposite field. You don't expect that much, in particular with a power hitter, and you're caught flat-footed. Rao was on that pitch. The 1-1 pitch, curve in there taken by Hebner, and the count of 1-2. Pirates lead 3-0. In case you're just picking up the broadcast, a single by Stennett, a ground out by Sankey and moved him to second. Oliver walked on a 3-2 pitch, and Stargell hit a 3-run homer. Robertson on in the air by the first baseman Garvey. Here's a 1-2 pitch by Rao. Curveball bounced foul off first. On a curveball, got away with it. Now, as I mentioned, the first inning, a jittery one for any pitcher, and particularly in a game of this importance for a youngster, Doug Rao, his first appearance in a postseason ballgame. If you can get through that first one, you get your momentum and your poise a bit, and you settle down. But the Bucks didn't let him off the hook. The Dodgers shift against Hebner, much like they do Stargell, with Russell almost behind the bag at second. Curve moved away, and the count of 2-2. Rao's breaking ball is up high, and that is not where he wants to throw it. Robertson at first with Garvey playing off the bag. The pitch to Ritchie. High fly to right field. Deep back is Crawford. Looking. Gone. Home run, Hebner. The Pirates come up with their second home run, and Hebner appeared to get a hanging curveball from Doug Rao and drilled it deep into right field for the second home run of the inning. And the Pirates, who hadn't had an extra base hit in previous 18, have really come out here this afternoon with the long ball bat. Home runs by Stargell and Hebner, both left-handed batters against the left-hander Rao, who was supposed to cancel them out. He didn't do it, and Walter Austin's out to the mound to talk things over. And the Bucks are roofing it up in the dugout. They have the lead 5-0. Well, we've got the opportunity here. Let's pause 20 seconds for our local station.
Now more than ever, the Liberty Tubes are a mess. So now is the time to call on the commuter. If you're still trying to figure your way to and from Pittsburgh, have your employer contact the commuter to get you moving.
Well, the log on Doug Rao, who'll be leaving the ballgame. Charlie Huff will come on to replace him. Rao goes 2/3 of an inning. He's been tagged for 5 runs, has given up 3 hits. 2 of those 3 have left the ballpark. Home runs by Stargell, a 3-run shot, and a 2-run shot by Richie Hebner. He didn't strike anybody out. He walked one, And we should have been out of the inning had he been able to make the play at first base. He failed to cover the bag. He was late getting there. The error charged to Garvey, and I would disagree on that call. And it cost the Dodgers 2 more runs. The Bucks have made them pay, and they lead the Pirates out in front by the score of 5-0. Charlie Huff is coming on, and while he makes a long entrance in from right field, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Pirates Baseball Network.
All the good sports are on Pirates, ABC, Pittsburgh.
Mario Mendoza will be the first batter to face Charlie Huff. Huff, a knuckleballer, a right-hander, has a record of, this season, 9 wins and 4 defeats. He appeared in 49 games prior to this. This is his first postseason appearance. And, as I said, all in relief, an earned run average of 3.75. He has had some ball games where he's come on in situations like this and has pitched very well. Earlier in the season, when the Pirates came out here, he had pitched something like 8 consecutive scoreless innings in very long relief to help the Dodgers win a ball game. And Walter Alston, going to Huff in this situation with the Dodgers down 5-0. They haven't come to bat as yet. This game could be similar to that 13-12 ball game we had in St. Louis, because that's the same way we started out that night in St. Louis. But it appears that pitching may not be the name of the game. It certainly hasn't been for the Dodgers here so far this afternoon. Bruce Keeson, by the way, has had a long time here between the time he warmed up. He is now moving into the on-deck circle as Mendoza steps in to bat against Charlie Huff, the right-hander and the knuckleballer. The pitch by Huff, and it's down low, ball 1. Trying to find a score on that Baltimore-Oakland ball game. Have nothing on that. Knuckleball in there, taken by Mendoza, in the count of 1-1. Mendoza pops up on the pitch, and the second baseman, Davy Lopes, in the center field, in shallow center, makes the grab, and that'll retire the Pirates. Well, the Pirates score 5 runs on 3 hits, 1 error, nobody left. And we go to the bottom of the first inning. The Pirates out in front, 5-0.
We're number 1, hands down. We're number 1, hands down. We're Chrysler dealer.
When you've got America's best-selling small car line, hey, that makes you number 1.
That's number 1.
Take it from me, Mary Jean. We've got it. And our bestseller of all is Plymouth Duster.
That's number 1.
Why is our Duster so popular? Maybe it's because there's room for 5 people, or because the trunk's so big, or the gas mileage so good. All I know is when you see the new Duster at your Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
You can't strike back then. And you'll make it happen. We'll make you number 1. Hands down. We're Chrysler dealer.
You can really clean up on a great year-end deal at your Pirate Land Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
Bruce Keeson, with a 5-0 lead into the bottom of the first inning, will face Davy Lopes, Bill Buckner, and Jimmy Wynn. Bruce with a lifetime record in the major leagues of 27 wins, 20 defeats, and it's been quite a comeback for this fella. In 1973, he started the season at Charleston, came up with a bad arm after a great season in 71 with the Bucks, and a pretty fair season in 72 when he won 9 and lost 7. But he went through all the miseries in 73, and he thought possibly a career might be completely gone, but he fought his way back, pitched the last month of the season in 73, and did fairly well there. And he's been with the Bucks all season here in 1974, and pitched a big game against Chicago a week ago Monday against the Cubs, beating them 2-1, beating Bill Bonham. That's been his only complete game of the season. His record 9-8 against the Dodgers lifetime. He has won 1 and lost 1. But he's been a pretty good postseason pitcher. As a matter of fact, in the championship series in 71 and the 72 series, and also in the World Series, he has pitched a total of 13 innings and has not given up a run so far. We might mention, by the way, that Stargell's home run was the first he has ever hit in playoff games or World Series competition. So Big Willie getting over that bugaboo. Pirates lead 5-0. Davy Lopes stepping in. He wound up the season at 266, scored 95 runs, and the big thing he did is steal a lot of bases, 59, and got stealing 18 times. And that's one big plus the Pirates have, leading 5-0, possibly taking the running game away from Los Angeles. Hebner up close at third. The pitch underway, and it is in there for a strike. Keeson with a sidearm fastball in there. Hebner at third, Mendoza at shortstop, making his first start. Stennett at second, Robertson at first. Here's a pitch by Bruce. It is down low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Stargell in left field. Oliver's in center. Richie Zisk in right. The catcher is Sanguilla. Keeson's 1-1 pitch is in there. A breaking ball. Strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Mike Genovese, a good Pirates fan, on hand for this ball game. Formerly from Jeanette. The 1-2 pitch. Outside in the count of 2-2. Also Andy Spagnola up in Larimer Street, Pittsburgh. The 2-2 pitch. Down low, ball 3. Keeson just missing, and not by much, I'll tell you. Lopes eyeballing him, has had the count of 3-2 now. The pitch underway, and it's hit off the right side. Stennett on one knee, picks it up, throws him out at first, and that'll retire Lopes. So Bruce gets the strike in there, and it'll bring up Bill Buckner, the left fielder, who's had 3 hits in 10 at-bats during the series. Finished in the top, rather. Best hitter on the Dodger Ball Club this season at the .314 average. He could be a big problem for Keeson. Left-handed batter sprays the ball around, and Keeson with that sidearm pitching. May try some off-speed pitches to Buckner. 5-0 lead for the Pirates in the bottom of the first. The pitch underway. It's a changeup and hit weakly to shortstop. Mendoza. Easy hopping ball. He's got him at first. Well, Bruce goes to the off-speed pitch on the first one to Buckner. Gets him to tap the short. And with 2 down and nobody on, the Pirates leading 5-0. Jimmy Wynn stepping in. A candidate for a most valuable player, and for some pretty obvious reasons. He hit .271, but led the Dodgers with 32 home runs. He had 108 RBIs. He was on base 253 times and scored 104 runs. And that's the whale of a season. One of the big trades that Al Campanis made to give them a championship this year. Curveball in there, taken by Wynn, strike 1. The 0-1 pitch to Wynn, change curve right there, strike 2. Well, a good off-speed pitch by Bruce. Keeson from Pasco, Washington, been making his home now in Pittsburgh, married to Anna Marie Orlando when the Pirates won the World Series, October 71. Fastball outside, the count of 1-2. You never forget his wedding date. All you got to do is look at his World Series ring. The 1-2 pitch. High pop-up off the left side. Hebner drifting back will make the play in fair territory, and that'll retire the Dodgers. They go down in order in the first inning. We've completed one, and the Pirates lead 5-0.
We're number 1, hands down. We're number 1, hands down. We're your Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
What makes your Chrysler Plymouth Steelers number 1? Take it from me, Mary Jean. It's because they've got America's best-selling small car line, Plymouth Stallions, Justice, and Scamp. Why are these cars so popular? Well, maybe it's because you can get so many people in them, or get so much in the trunk, or get so many miles to a gallon. Whatever the reason, when you see our new little Plymouth, we know the reaction we're going to get.
And we'll make it happen. We'll make you number 1. Hands down. We're your Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
You can really clean up on a great year-end deal at your Pirate Land Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
The final score in the American League Championship playoff at Baltimore. Oakland behind Vida Blue, shutting out Baltimore, and Jim Palmer 1-0. Bruce Keeson will be the leadoff batter, but he's delayed getting up there. He's slowly making his way up. Well, the Oakland A's, after losing the first game, Catfish Hunter being knocked out and giving up a couple of home run balls. Come back to win 2 games. Kenny Holtzman and Vida Blue doing the strong pitching, and they lead now 2-1. Pirates are trying to do that very same thing. Get back into this one. They lead 5-0 in the second inning. Charlie Huff, the pitcher, and Keeson takes a strike and a fastball from the right-hander. The pitch by Huff is a knuckleball, swung and missed, strike 2. The 0-2 pitch, Knuckler popped up down the left field line. It's drifting out of play. Those knuckleball pitchers, when they're good, they're very good. And when they're bad, they can be horrid and will give up a lot of home run balls. Huff has thrown 12 in 96 innings of pitching. And that's a pretty high total. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss on a wicked knuckleball, strike 3. So Keeson is the first strikeout victim. Huff picking him up to open up the second inning. The Pirates are out in front by the score of 5-0. Home runs by Stargell in the first inning with 2 on, and Hebner with 1 on. Chased the starter, Doug Rao. Stennett opened the game with his first single of the series. He's 1 for 8. And in a very close play at second base, eluded the tag by Davy Lopes and looked like a double play ball. It looked like the Bucks had gotten off to a bad start. But he was safe at second. Swing and a miss by Rennie, strike 1. Huff doing the type of pitching right here that Austin hopes he can do and keep things close and give the Dodgers a chance to get back into it. Swing and a miss by Stennett, strike 2. Good pitching like this in long relief can be a big morale factor for a ball club when you're behind. Check swing by Rennie, and it's fouled out of play, strike 2. Most managers would not like to dip into the bullpen as early as Austin had to do here. Knuckleball way outside, on the count of a ball and 2 strikes on Rennie. Reminder that President Ford's speech will be broadcast immediately following the game. It'll be taped and broadcast following the game. Weekly ball, hit ball on the third base side. Huff throws high off the bag, and Stennett will move on to the second base. The throw by Huff went over the head of Steve Garvey, and the Pirates have a runner at second base. An easy play by Charlie Huff, but he might have had the knuckleball grip on it, slipped out of his hand, and over the head of Steve Garvey. I might mention that the field is a little bit heavy and wet, too, because of a sprinkle that fell earlier here today. And whether that was the cause for Huff's problems, I don't know. But it's the second error for the Dodgers, and the Pirates get a runner in the scoring position, and Sanguine stepping in. That error charged the pitcher, Charlie Huff, a 2-base error. 5-0 lead for the Bucks. Sanguine gets weekly to second baseman Davy Lopes, his first term up. The pitch to Manny, fouled out of play down the right field line, strike 1. Still no sunshine here. Moments when it gets a bit brighter, but again, a bit more dark. The lights have been turned on. Well, look at second, the 0-1 pitch, and it's way outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Joe Ferguson doing the catching this afternoon for the Dodgers. He started the previous 2 games in right field. Yeager's sitting this one out. Stennett at second base. The 1-1 pitch to Manny. Swing and a foul tip out of the glove of Joe Ferguson. And the count of a ball and 2 strikes. Charlie Huff was born in Honolulu, Hawaii. I think the only other players that came from out there. I think who it is. Somebody with Mike Lum, the Atlanta Braves. A 1-2 pitch. Line drive, and it's picked off by the shortstop, double play. Russell made a lateral play and a well-hit ball by Sanguine, and Stennett really had no chance at all. Looked like that ball was through. But somehow, Russell got it in the webbing of his glove and turned in an easy double play. And the out goes 6-4 on a double play. A line drive out. Pirates, no runs, no hits, 1 error, nobody left. They'll go to the bottom of the second. The Pirates out in front, 5-0.
Batting point,
Your baseball host is in your Pirate Land Chrysler Plymouth dealer who has immediate delivery on America's #1 selling complex. Your host now is George. Nature's high-protein food for dogs. Higher in protein, and it still costs less than most other brands. Early starting time out here of 12:30, 3:30 Pittsburgh time, and folks heading back home, I guess, along the parkways east and west. Pirates leading 5-0. Garvey leads off the Dodgers second. He takes the pitch down low for a ball. This fella, tough hitter, has had 3 hits and 9 at-bats in the playoffs and wound up the season with 200 hits and a .312 average. Fastball in there, taking strike one. Sun making an appearance through the overcast above us, and it's the first time we've seen shadows out here. Keeson's windup in 1-1 pitch. A changeup is right inside. He hung it too far inside, says Lee Wire. The count of 2-1. It's a good off-speed pitch by Bruce. Dodgers have played well in this ballpark, winning 52 and losing only 29. Fastball broken back, and the barrel of that goes by Keeson. Finished to get him out at first base. Grace really sawed him off inside. The barrel of bat just missing Keeson. Going out to the shortstop position behind near second base, rather. Garvey really looked at the ball when he swings, and Keeson just sawed him off inside. Dave Justy commenting about Garvey, he said about the old fundamental thing about watching the ball when you're coaching youngsters. You tell them watch the ball when you catch it and watch it when you hit it. And he said Garvey is the epitome of that in the National League. Willie Crawford steps in, left-handed batter with good power, 11 home runs, given in 61. Keeson's fastball went about the first base side, extended and quickly throws. He got him. Great play by Rennie on a well-executed bunt by Willie Crawford. That was a whale of a play. Stennett had to come in and barehand the ball and shovel underhanded to Bobby Robertson very close to him and still get something on it, and he did it. But it was a fine try by Willie Crawford, but a better play by Rennie Stennett. Ron Say, the hitting star of the second game, when he went 4 for 5 with a home run and a couple of doubles, steps in. He's gone 4 for 8 in the playoffs. He's hit 4 home runs out Buck pitching this year. Linesman shot it to short on one hop. Mendoza, great play, got him at third. Well hit ball and a fine play by Mario Mendoza. The Dodgers get down in order in the second inning. We've completed 2, and the Pirates lead 5-0. Third inning with Oliver Stargell and Mist come up, the 3, 4, and 5 batters against Charlie Huff. In case you're just joining us, Doug Rouse started. He was touched up for all 5 runs on 3 hits, 2 of them home runs, a 3-run homer by Stargell, a 2-run homer by Hebner to chase him in the first inning. Huff has been on since, has not allowed a hit, and with the aid of the double play, has retired 4 in a row. Oliver walked in a 3-2 pitch in the first inning. The pitch by Huff, and it is up high, knuckleball, ball 1. Huff is 6'2", a 190-pounder. Started minor league ball in 1966. Knuckleball outside, and the count of 2-0. Well, it's been a long haul for this guy to make it to the big league. Knuckleball down low, ball 3. There the count goes to 3-0 on Oliver. Waiting on deck is Willie Stargell. Huff has issued 40 walks, struck out 63 in 96 innings. He's in with a strike, fastball taken by Al, and the count of 3-1. Pirates the Dodgers have activity in their bullpen. Al Downing listening, left-hander. 3-1 pitch. Looping ball in the right center field, a base hit by Oliver into the gap, cut off by Crawford. He'll hold it to a long single. Oliver on the 3-1 pitch. Rips the base hit, and that'll bring up Stargell. His 3-run homer. Got the Bucks out in front. You can hear a murmur going through the crowd every time this guy steps up in this ballpark. Has had some big days and big nights in this park. We'd like to class this as one of them, I'm sure, because it's a must game for the Pirates. They have to win to continue the 1974 season. They need a 3-game winning streak. Garvey holding against Oliver, nobody out. Willie takes the knuckleball away, ball 1. Russell, the shortstop, about 2 or 3 steps from the bag at second. He's deep, almost playing directly behind it. Say well off the line at third, and they'll hold it short. Knuckleball gets away, and moving into second will be Al Oliver. Ferguson can't find the handle on it. He slipped behind home plate, had no play actually. Then we'll wait for the ruling. I would think possibly a wild pitch, and knuckleball just got it away. They ruled it a pass ball. Now Stargell with a base hit now. Can give the Bucks another run here. The sun coming out. A look at second. Oliver leads him there. The pitch to Stargell, foul down the left field line. It's out of play in the count of 1-2. Bill Buckner not over-shifting on Stargell, playing him pretty much straight away for a left-handed batter, but Jimmy Wynn in center field has this slid well into right center. There's a big gap into left center. The look at second. The pitch to Willie. Ground ball to shortstop. Then Oliver is going to be out at third. No, he is out at third. Yes, a good play by Ron Fay. Bill Russell taking the shot there in a rather bad bit of base running on Oliver's part. You better make sure you can get over on a play like that. He's at second base, and he's in scoring position. But Oliver, with a bad bit of base running, is out at third base, 6-5 on the play. Russell taking the shot. Fielder's choice, Stargell at first base. Willie going to the opposite field. Tried to find a holdover there, but he hit the ball very sharply to the shortstop, Bill Russell. And Oliver with a dead duck at third. Well, we don't have the runner in scoring position. A double play now. Possibility. Missed the batter. And the pitch. He swings and misses strike one. Richie having his problems trying to find that base hit stroke since the Labor Day doubleheader against Philadelphia. He has not had too many hits or RBIs. High pop-up off the right side. It could be playable, giving chase Garvey and Wolf, but no, he can't get it. Made a valiant attempt to get there. Garvey giving a long run down the right field line. There's the added box seats down there. And the count of 0-2 on Zisk with Stargell at first. One down and the Pirates out in front, 5-0 in the top of the third. Check swing and a looper into center field, base hit, and that would have scored a run for us. But had it not been by the play by Russell to say to Neil Oliver. Base hit by Zisk and a check swing single moving Stargell into second base. And Bobby Robertson will be the batter. He was on a throwing error by the first baseman Steve Garvey against Doug Rao. Actually, Garvey made a pretty good play on it, but Rao was late covering, missed the bag at first base, but the error charged to Steve Garvey. And Hebner made them pay with the following home run. 5-0 lead, and that's the way it stands. One down, runners at first and second. Third inning. The pitch to Robertson, swings and misses on a knuckleball, strike one. So look at second, the 0-1 pitch to Robertson, high fly to center field. Wind fighting the sun, trying to search for it, and he makes the catch. Stargell holds at second, just comes back to first base. 2 down. Well, big play by Russell and Fay, nailing Al Oliver at third base on a ball hit to the shortstop. You generally try to make a ball go through on that left side before you move over. And Oliver saw the ball behind him as they had shifted over on Stargell. He thought he could make it, but he was a dead duck. Hebner's a 2-out home run in the first inning. Gave the Bucks 2 runs. He's stepping in. That's his second hit in the series. He singled against Murphy Smith to open the ball game on Sunday. The pitch to Richie, and it's inside. Almost hit him. Ball one. Mendoza, the on-deck batter. Hebner reminding Joe Ferguson. The strap on his shin guard has come loose. Ferguson made the comment about the Pirates. He said they were disappointing. I expected more from them in the Pittsburgh series over there. He said they're swinging like they're playing the last game of the season, and they're 2 outs every inning. Well, they aren't swinging that way this afternoon, or it doesn't seem so. Leading 5-0. Tough pitch is the foul, back out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. Yep, for Hebner again as it was for Stargell in left center field. His win is playing almost identically as he did against Willie into right center field. The count of 1-1, the pitch, and it is swung and missed strike two. Wicked knuckleball. Hebner has had a bad shoulder throughout the latter part of the season, noticeably flexing it after that missed swing. He said he doesn't really enjoy playing in this ballpark. He hasn't had too many good days. Line drive, right field. He's got a base hit. He's having one here. Stigel's coming around. He'll score. This goes moving to third. Ball momentarily bobbled, but no advance by Hebner. The Pirates lead 6-0. Hebner's driven in 3. Stigel's driven in 3. And Mendoza steps in with runners at first and third. Ritchie making them pay with 2 key 2-out hits. The 2-run homer in the first with 2 down, and a 1-run single here in the third, scoring Stigel from second base. Ritchie scoops off the hook a bit with that base hit. The base running boo-boo a bit there. It didn't cost the Pirates at all. Here's a pitch to Mendoza in there. That's the letter. Strike one. Tavares could play if necessary, but it could be under extreme emergency conditions. Popovich would be the second shortstop today. Mendoza hits quickly out there to foul ball. Strike two. He was injured on a ball thrown by Messersmith in Sunday's game. Hit him on the right thumb at the base of the thumb, and it's quite sore. He can't even hold a comb in his hand to comb. Of course, throwing or hitting would be impossible. He could be used for pinch running duties. The 0-2 pitch grounded in the hole, and Russell makes the play where? To second base. He didn't get him. We get another run. 7-0. A base hit by Mendoza, and some great hustle by Hebner took the play away at second base. RBI by Mario. The Pirates lead 7-0 in the pitcher. Bruce Keeson will step in. Good try by Bill Russell. That's the only play he had at second base. And Hebner had the play beaten. Good try also by Davey Lopes to hold the bag, which he did, but Hebner beat the play. On an infield single, and the Pirates are making a play here with 2 runs on 4 hits, and they lead 7-0. Keeson up for the second time, struck out against Huff in the second inning. Downing continues to throw. They'll pinch hit for Huff in the third inning. Swing and a miss by Bruce, strike one. The pitcher will be the third batter in the Dodgers' third inning. But a very productive 2 innings here, 3 innings for the Pirates. A pitch to Keeson inside, knocks him down, and the count of 1-1. I know there was a fastball. It looked like it sure was. It's right under the chin of Keeson. Hebner at second. Mendoza's at first with 2 down. The pitch to Bruce. And he swings in a foul tip out of the glove. Ferguson, no advance. He got away from Ferguson, and the home plate umpire wire telling Hebner it was a foul ball. He goes back to second. Pirates get only 4 hits against Sunday. They're in with 7 already in the 2 2/3 inning. Swing and a miss by Keeson. He goes down swinging. Ball is dropped and Ferguson tags him. That's the second strikeout, but the Pirates scored 2 runs on 4 hits, no errors, and stranded a couple of runners. Then we go to the bottom of the third. The Pirates lead 7-0. Your host now is Daily Juice Natural Juice Products. Natural fruit drink concentrate and Daily's cocktail time cocktail mixes. Pirates tried to extend the 1974 championship series, dropping the first 2 in Pittsburgh with a weak hitting attack. Have come back with a strong attack, 7 hits, 7 runs over the front 3 innings, and Bruce Keeson has retired 6 in a row with the front 2. He'll face catcher Joe Ferguson, Bill Russell, the shortstop, and then a pinch hitter, I would think, for Charlie Huff, although nobody throws in the Dodger bullpen. Downing had been throwing in the last 2 innings, and I would assume was ready to do some pitching.
Catcher Joe Ferguson.
Ferguson's had 2 hits and 8 times at bat, and has given in a couple of runs in the championship series. On the season, hit at 252, 16 home runs, drove in 57. Played the previous 2 games in right field. He's doing the catching this afternoon. Here's a pitch by Keeson, ground ball, a shortstop, Mendoza. Easy play, and he throws. He's got him at first. Dodgers doing a lot of first ball hitting off Keeson. He's kept the ball in the infield so far, 7 outs in a row, and Bill Russell will be the batter. The Baltimore Orioles were beaten 1-0 by Oakland this afternoon by the Blue, beating Jim Palmer in Baltimore. So the A's take a 2-1 lead in that series. They won the last two with great pitching by Holtzman yesterday and by the Blue today. Pirates lead here 7-0 as Russell steps in and hit the ball about as well as any Dodger in the series, 3 for 9. And a couple of good line drive outs. He takes the strike. This fellow regarded by Walter Olson as the best athlete on the ball club, Bill Russell. Thiesen's 0-1 pitch, fastball just inside, and he lays off the count of 1-1. Russell played more games than any Dodger, 160. The 1-1 pitch, and ball weakly in the hole, picked off by Mendoza, throws not in time. That was Hebner's ball to play if he could make it. He didn't get to it. A weakly hit ball. It got by Hebner. And Mendoza's throw from deep in the hole, not in time to get to Speedy Russell, and the Dodgers get their first hit. And it'll be a pinch hitter for Charlie Huff. Then we'll wait and see who it'll be. Well, we've got the opportunity. Let's pause 20 seconds for our local station.
The Pirates have done it. They're in the playoffs with the Dodgers. And now we've got to show the Bucs, who is still with them, all the way to the World Series. That's the Bucs. After all, KDKA thinks Pirate baseball is a serious business.
The pinch hitter will be Vaughn Joshua, left-handed hitter, to go against Keeson. Joshua hit .234 this year. One of those 29 hits being a home run. He's driven in 16 runs. Left-handed batter, Vaughn Joshua, and the crowd coming alive here for the Dodgers. They trail 7-0. That's their first hit. Now the log on Charlie Huff. He went 2 1/3 innings, gave up 4 hits and 2 runs, struck out 2. He didn't walk anybody. Both runs earned runs. Joshua, a kind of unhappy ball player. Earlier in the year when we were out here, he asked to be traded. But I'm sure he's glad he stayed around because he has a chance to pick up some extra change. The pitch is outside by Bruce, ball 1. Keeson for the first time, pitching from the stretch. And that causes problems for a couple of pitches till you find the plate. Russell at first, 1 down, Dodgers 3. And the pitch. Foul, back out of play. Good lift by Joshua in the count of 1-1. Now, Bill Russell having a big series, his 4th hit. Intended bats on at first base. They say things even up. He hit a couple of well-hit balls in Pittsburgh, 3 line drive out. That one wasn't well hit, but he got a base hit. Robertson off the bag at first. The pitch is a changeup just outside, and the count of 2-1. Pirates out in front, 7-0. Fastball up high, ball 3. Keeson falling behind, 3-0 on Vaughn Joshua. The on-deck batter is Davey Look. He looks at ball 4. Well, Keeson tried a throw strike, falling behind, walked Joshua, putting a runner into scoring position. Bill Russell, and bringing up Davey Look. He bounced out to second baseman Marnie Stennett in the first inning on a 3-2 pitch. Wildness is not an uncommon thing for Keeson. He's had it throughout his career. But the Dodger crowd gets some hope on this situation. The pitch to Lopes is in there, taking strike 1. Russell to second base. Joshua at first. Good speed for the Dodgers, and the Pirates good activity in their bullpen. Larry Demery starting to throw. And also Juan Pizarro. There is no tomorrow for the Pirates. Curveball right there, strike 2. Good sharp breaking ball by Keeson. Back Lopes off the plate and caught the outside corner. Big breaking ball. Bruce would like to get the double play ball here. He has Lopes, 0-2. Gets the sign from Sankey and checks the runner at second. Russell when the pitch underway. Foul back out of play. Jammed him with a fastball. And the count holds on to. The Dodgers are a more relaxed ball club, I guess you'd have to say, with a 2-0 lead in a 5-game series. They only have to win one game. The Pirates have to win 3 in a row. But the Bucks have a lead of 7-0 here in the third inning. The 0-2 pitch fouled again back out of play as he came inside on the fifth. Demery and not Pizarro, but Kenny Bledsoe in the Pirate bullpen. Brett working out of the bullpen. Time call. The Sagian wants to talk things over with Keeson. Still no break in the cloud cover here. Occasionally the sun will break through, but not of any consistency that we've had any sunshine. The light's still on. The count of 0-2, one down, the pitch underway, and it's missed on the corner, strike 3. Wilkes didn't like that call at all. He argued. Keeson picks up his first strikeout, and he'll bring up Bill Buckner. 2 down, 7-0. Pirates lead. Russell at second. Joshua at first. A big game for the Pirates and Bruce Keeson. He's 24 years of age pitching it. He pitched some big ones in 71. Buckner, a left-handed batter, and the pitch, a changeup, and a hit weakly out in front of the plate. Sagian up with it all. He's got him at first base. And for the second time, Keeson on a changeup gets Buckner. So Bruce gets out of it. No runs on one hit, no errors, and a couple of runners left. They completed 3, and the Pirates lead 7-0.
And let's see. Your host is Daily Juice Natural Juice Products. Natural fruit drink concentrate and Daily's cocktail time cocktail mixer. And as we go into the 4th inning here, Pirates leading 7-0. Al Downing is on now. Third Dodger pitcher. Up went 2 1/3 for 2 runs, 4 hits. Stennett, 1 for 2. Slams a foul to the right out of play. Extremely humid here today. Downing's record, by the way, is 5-6 with the league. If the Bucks are to lose this today, they would come home tomorrow. But if they win here, of course, today, they'll play here tomorrow. And then if they should lose tomorrow, they still won't come home until Thursday. And then if they win on Wednesday, they'll play here Thursday and come home immediately following the ball game, win or lose. So that's the best I can tell you. Stennett, ball 1 strike 1 delivery, smacks it sharply to second. Lopes goes right through his leg. He pulled a rock. And he's up with an error. That's their 3rd error. Where the heck were these errors when we needed them in Pittsburgh? That ball went right through his wickets. That'll bring up Sanguine. He's over 2. Pirates leading 7-0 in the 4th inning. Downing checks his runner, throws it in low, saying he wanted a bunt. Throw down to first base safely in there, Stennett. 1 ball and no strikes. They're playing straight out here to Sankey. And Downing's overhand curve low, ball 2, 2-0. Downing, the third pitcher, works. Sankey breaks his back, grounds to short. Russell lopes for one on to first. Not in time to get Sankey in. Here's Al Oliver. He walked in the first inning and singled. If Al hadn't have rather unwisely tried to go to third on a ground ball hit by Stargell to short, Pirates might have scored about 6 runs in that third inning. Pirates went on to score a pair, but he took us out of a whale of a big inning here. Because if he stays at second, Stargell's out, then this singles. And then Robertson brings him in with a sacrifice fly. Hebner and Mendoza get hits. And they still only have one out. Oliver, who's never been shut out more than twice in the season. In other words, he never had a situation where he went more than 2 games without a hit. Got shut out pretty much in the first 2 against the Dodgers. Has come right back with a walk and a double. Downing delivers outside. Down low, ball 2. Al Downing. Rao, as the pitcher record, went 2/3 of an inning for 3 runs. 2 other runs unearned. Oliver tried to save and couldn't. Downing on the 2-ball, 1-strike pitch. Sends a curve low, and Oliver watches ball 3. We've still been fighting that bad virus in the throat and the lungs that I guess we got everybody back east. And we haven't been able to shake it out out here to save our neck. So we're not going to hum it up too hard here. Ball 3, strike 1. And Oliver is walked. That'll put Sanguine up to second. And that's the second walk. And here's Stargell. Hit a home run off Rao in the first inning with 2 men aboard. And then came in to score on a single by Hebner back in the third. And the fans remember that first time up for Stargell. He hit it a mile. And they're worried about Mr. Downing serving up another softie that may get out of here in a hurry. And he gets it out over the plate at will. Downing delivers. Stargell watches at the knees for a strike. No balls, 1 strike. Whoa, big ripple by Wilbur. And strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes, the pitch. Stargell hits a chopper to second. Lopes gets it on for 1, on to first, and held by Garvey for the out as Russell was rolled out on the play by Oliver, but still was able to get the throw away. No runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Pittsburgh on top, 7-0. Okay, leading here by the score of 7-0 going into the bottom half of the 4th inning. And while we have a moment or so, what do you say we take 20 seconds for our local stations?
The Pirates have done it. They're in the playoffs with the Dodgers. And now we've got to show the Bucs. We're still with them all the way to the World Series. That's the Bucs. After all, KDKA thinks Pirate baseball is a serious business.
All right, Jimmy Wen standing in. He popped up to third. Back in the first inning, Pirates lead 7-0. Easton whips the fastball over low, ball one. It'll be Wynn, Garvey, and Crawford in the Dodger fourth. Bruce back on the 1-0, this time with a fastball to the outside corner for a called strike, 1-1. Dodgers have yet to get a ball out of the infield on Keeson through 3 innings. Pirates lead 7-0. There's a curve it's dropping in. They only have one hitter with a scratch hit by Russell, and if Hefner doesn't accidentally deflect the ball a little bit off to the left, Mendoza would have thrown out a Russell, and they had a no-hitter going. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Foul away, hit it right off the end of the bat. He better re-chop his stick. Easton back with a changeup, strikes out Wynn swinging. Low, a baffling changeup. Found Wynn way out in front of that one. He could have pulled the trigger twice. Would have been illegal, but he could have. He had enough time. The batter Garvey bounced out to second in the second inning. Pirates on top 7-0 here, hoping to send it into Game 4 with Royce and Sutton dueling tomorrow. Over the corner with a call strike. If Sutton can pitch the same type of a ball game he pitched in Pittsburgh, the Dodgers deserve to win the championship. But he'll have to pitch about that strongly. Second time around, the Pirates can get mighty devastating. And if they should bang them again tomorrow, then the final game would really show some electrifying moments with Messersmith trying to outduel Rooker. Strike 2 pitch, low and away. Ball 1, strike 2. But to do that, you got to win today and a game tomorrow. It's not beyond the realm of possibility. Remember, the Pirates in 1971 lost the first 2 games to Baltimore. And everybody said, well, the Buccos are dead. The Pirates are wearing the World Series ring. They came on to beat Baltimore in 7 games and should have beaten them in 6. 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's a ball. It's fouled off third. Pirates scored 5 in the first. 3-run homer Stargell, 2-run homer Hebner, and 2 more in the third, leading 7-0. Ball 1, strike 2 pitch. And it's hit out of here. If it stays fair, it's a home run. It's a foul ball into the upper deck for Garvey. Easton got the ball in on him a little too much. And up inside, and Steve gave it a big ride, but foul. This time, the curveball's right back to Bruce Keeson. And the funny thing, I was watching that on my monitor, and I ducked. I thought it was going to hit me right between the eyes.
Crawford, right field.
Here's Crawford now. He bounced out to second back in the second inning, and it was a great play by Rennie Sennett to get him out of there because he dragged a bunt down the line, almost picked up a base hit. 2 down in the fourth. Pirates leading 7-0. Bruce starts him off with a change, ball 1. One ball, no strikes. And low underneath, ball 2, 2-0. Baltimore lost Oakland 1-0 on a 2-hitter by Vida Blue and a home run by Sal Bando. 2-0 delivery curved in there, 2-1. Dodger fourth inning, 2 down, none on, 7-0 Pirates. In the third game of the 1974 playoffs, pitched outside, ball 3 to Crawford. Keeson back on his 3-1 pitch, missing inside. Issues his second walk of the game, and it'll bring up Ron Say, who grounded out to short back in the second inning. Good rip on the fastball by Keeson as Say hangs in on a sidearm fastball. Foul back. Strike one. No balls, one strike, two down. Runner first, Crawford. Parks lead 7-0. Dodger fourth. Pitch to Say. Is a curve in there. Strike two. No balls, two strikes. Once again, Keeson ready. And walks off the mound, but the umpire says that ball a little low. 2 balls and a strike. Second, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ron Say, he's been the most prolific hitter for the Dodgers in the series. Goes down swinging on a sidearm curveball, and Bruce that time took a little off it. And that puts the Dodgers away, and they have yet to hit a ball out of the infield through 4. Pirates lead 7-0. Okay, Buckos now going at it in the 5th, leading 7-0. I again apologize. I'm not going to be able to hum it up too good. The old vibes or whatever's in there are gone. Some kind of a virus that got us by the nose. Richie's this standing in, grounded out to short and singled and scored. Al Downing, the 3rd pitcher of the night. Curves low to Richie, ball 1. Richie singled back in the 3rd on a check swing. Came around to score when Mendoza got an infield single. That was the 7th run of the ball game. Rao, the pitcher record, gave up 3 earned runs, 2 unearned runs. This lambs it right at Russell. 1 out. That'll bring up Robertson. Got aboard on an error in the 1st inning, and then Hebner followed with a home run. That out should have retired the side, didn't. Bobby then fly deep to center in the 3rd. So Bobby's 0 for 2 on the afternoon. They're around to the left. On the corner for a strike to Bobby. The outfield deep. Downing on the 0-1 in the rock. Sends it up inside for a fastball, 1-1. Bobby cutting on a twisting curveball, didn't get it. Downing back, Robertson hits a towering fly ball up shallow short, and Russell drops back into what's really just a few feet on the grass, then hauls it in. Sit down, that's Hebner standing in now with a home run, a man aboard, and a single to drive in a run. He has 3 ribbies on the day. Pirates are leading here 7-zip, 5th inning. Oh, for station identification. We'll come up with that in a moment. See what Downing does right here. Top curve, ball 1. We'll pause for station identification. It's the Pirate Baseball Network.
All the good sports are Pirate TV Pittsburgh.
Downing back now with the next pitch is inside, so he's 2-0. To Richie Hebner. 2 down, 5th inning. Pirates on top, 7-0 in the third game. Bucks have got to win them all. Yeah, they're going to be in a World Series. The Dodgers only have to win one more. That's not easily done all the time, though. Pirates about to have some real thunder here today. Get some booming shots. Particularly Hebner and Stargell. Downing gets one over, and a count of 3-1. Tomorrow it'll be Royce and Sutton. Be an interesting little contest. Hebner a cut on the changeup. And they said he got hit or something. Interference by the catcher. I can't believe this. It's got to be interference. They got to be calling interference. You watch it on my monitor. Hebner swung. It couldn't be ball 4. Let's see now. He goes to swing. And he swings all the way around. I guess they've called it ball 4, ladies and gentlemen. That's unbelievable. He struck out. And apparently the umpire behind the plate would not appeal to anybody. So that is the third walk. And I'll tell you, I got to be honest, that's my own man up there. He struck out swinging. He wanted to be the hitter, he'd have hit it a mile. Here's the 0-1. Mendoza, a check swing back to Downing. Who throws it away. Over Garvey's head. And Hebner split running. Now he gets to third. And they'll hold him up. He's been running hard all the way. He scored easily. I can't believe Downing threw that ball away like he did. That's the easiest out you ever looked at. Right back to the mound. He just went to lob it, and he lobbed it right up over Garvey's head. Now, Hebner had been running to second. He comes to third easily, where he is now, but he scores because the ball went down the right field line. Mendoza's at second on the error, which is the 4th for the Dodgers. And the batter's Keeson, who twice has struck out. That's the second pitching throwing error today. One was made back in the second inning by Huff. And Keeson hits a soft one down to the shortstop. Russell backs up, throws, and does get him just for the out. No runs, no hits, 1 error, 2 left. We go to the bottom of the 5th, leading 7-0. Well, we're leading 7-0 into the bottom of the 5th. The Dodgers getting some action in their bullpen. We'll have a moment. Why don't we take 20 seconds for our local station?
The New Point State Park Fountain has regular operating hours, mornings from 8 to 9:30 and 11 to 1, plus afternoons from 4 to 7. On the weekend, the fountain's on from 11 in the morning until 7 at night. KPKA invites you to visit this new edition, someplace special, a landmark that helps get our point across to the world.
All right, the Dodgers send up Ferguson now. He grounded out to short. He's catching today. The Dodgers have somebody warming in their bullpen. We can't see who it is. They'll be hitting for Downing here in the 5th. He weakly taps it foul off third. We're in the Dodger 5th inning. Ferguson, Russell, and the scheduled third batter, Downing. Keeson on the line, the pitch. Throws it up under the chin for a ball, 1-1. One ball, 1 strike pitch from Bruce. High fly left field, going back Willie Stargell. On the warning track has room, and that's the first ball. Hit to the outfield for an out. They never had one foul ball by Garvey. That's the first ball hit out of the infield with a decision on it. Now here's Russell. He bounced a single off Hebner's glove. The only hit of the ball game. Goes it low, ball one. Up high for a ball, 2-0. 7-0 Pittsburgh, one out here. Fifth inning. Dodgers at bat. Nobody aboard. This time he's in there on a 2-0 and make it 2-1. Two big home runs by Stargell and Hebner. There's a ball beat foul off third. In the first inning, Stennett with Rao pitching single sharply to right. Oliver walked, and Stargell hit it out of sight to make it 3-0. Then with two down, Robertson lived on an error, and Hebner hit another one way up into the upper deck and right, and the Pirates were quickly out in front 5-0. Bouncer off the left side, Mendoza comes up for the big hop, throws to Robertson, and two are down in the Dodgers' fifth inning. Then in the third inning, Oliver singled, took second on a pass ball. Stargell grounded it short, and for some reason, Oliver went to third and was thrown out. It turned out the Pirates picked up 2 runs anyhow, but they would have had a very big inning, perhaps. For Stargell later came around to score after Zisk singled. Robertson sent a fly ball to deep center, and Hebner singled, and Mendoza singled. So Hebner has 3 ribbies on the day, Stargell 3, and Mendoza 1. The Pirates lead 7-0. The batter is Al Downing. And a strike, 1-1. They're not going to waste any more bullpen action with the Pirates topping them 7-0 at this point. Downing hits it over the head of Keeson, coming over, Stennett up by second, throws him out. So at the end of 5 innings of play, our Pirates lead the Dodgers 7-0. For the Pirates in the 6th inning, it'll be Stennett, Sanguine, and Oliver. Bucks on top, 7-0 on a one-hitter by Keeson. 2 homers, Stargell with 2 on, Hebner 1 on. Knocking Rao out of the box, who only went 2/3 of an inning. And here's the picture record. And Charlie helped the knuckleballer. They nailed him for a couple. And they've been after Downing since he came on here in the bottom of the 4th, the top of the 4th.
Second base.
So Rennie Stennett, who has been on base 3 times with a single and 2 errors, standing in. Tomorrow, Sutton goes against Roy. And the Bucks will go after him with a vengeance and settle it on Thursday, foul, with Messersmith and Rooker. And everybody every coach can go with. Because if we ever get it down to the 5th game, everybody will be in the bullpen for both sides. No balls, 1 strike to Stennett. Downing's delivery hit on a punch down to short. Russell comes up throwing, pulls Garvey off the bag, and they roll out. I'm telling you, the Dodgers are throwing the ball all over the place. Dennis going to first. He thinks he's safe. Let's watch it on the replay here. Well, he never touched him. Our guys are arguing about it, and that's what they're fighting about. Here's Stennett hitting again. I'm watching it now from a different camera view. And Garvey's pulled off the bag, and he hasn't touched Rennie Stennett yet. What the umpire saw was Stennett's hat come off. You can see him very definitely run right underneath the tag, and what the umpire sees is the ball, the hat coming off. He blew the play, period. There was an error on the shortstop, and he get away with it. How's that one grab you? Well, I can't get on too much. They struck Hebner out on a ball. If he'd have hit it for a home run. They called it ball 4. Sanguine 0 for 3. I don't know yet how Hebner could swing like he did, and the umpire missed it. Unbelievable. It's supposed to be that championship series between the two best clubs in the National League, you should have the 6 best umpires here. That ain't the way it works. They got a little union that makes them rotate. No matter how good you are or bad you are, you come up and turn. 1 ball, 1 strike. Outside, ball 2. Whether you like it or not, you're supposed to have the 6 best men here working. That isn't the way it works. 2 balls and a strike. That's hit out into the gap in the right center. That's going to get up there for a base hit. And Sangy going for second. The throw, not in time. He's got a double. He's got a buck on the rug. And that's the 8th hit. Here's Oliver now. Walked and scored, singled, and walked. Pirates leading 7-0. The sellout throng in Dodger Stadium are not liking what they're watching here today. Oliver Jam fouls it off first. Downing, third pitcher, now has his sign. St. Ian off second. That's line right to shortstop Russell, and St. Ian's doubled up. That's the third double play they've had, and every one of them been a line drive to somebody. So the inning show, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left. We go to the bottom of the 6th, and the Bucks lead 7-0. Rodson dropping in with some information here. Keesum's post-inning record, and there's in other words in championship series, is really something. He pitched 5, 7, 13 innings, and hasn't allowed a run. He's tough when they put the chips down. Here's Lopes. 0 for 2. Ball outside. Lopes rounded to second, struck out. Now the 1 ball, no strike delivery. And right over the heart of the plate comes the whip. 1-1. Misses on the next one. Oh, 2-strike-1 pitch. He's underneath ball 3. Pirates leading 7-0. Lopes up there, bounced to second and called out on strike. Dodgers 6th inning. And just inside, Keesum doesn't like the call. That's the 3rd walk. Here's Buckner, bounced out to short, bounced out to the catcher. And then he sent it in to offer some words of encouragement. Danny Murtaugh, as I watch him on the bench, just calmly viewing all the action. Pirates on top, 7-0. Dodgers get the leadoff man, first man they've had on, in the leadoff role. They've only had 1 man get as far as second as Russell back in the 3rd. So Buckner, left-hand batter, takes a strike from Keesum. No balls, 1 strike. they're running with Lopes. The ball's hit foul down the third base side. And that, my friends, is anything but good baseball. When you're down 7 runs, you are really showing yourself as only looking after yourself and the heck with your team. He accomplishes nothing by stealing second base, and he might be thrown out. And Buckner fouled it off. And I know one thing, that was not a hit and run. Robertson isn't even holding to him. Nothing in 2 count here. And it's fouled away by Buckner out of play to the left. Well, down the left field line, some blue sky. How about that? First we've seen since we came to Lower California. Rained awfully hard here yesterday. A lot of lightning, a lot of thunder, and some storms so severe in certain areas it knocked out power lines, television, phones, what have you. No ball, 2-strike count to Buckner. Pitch. And it's hit back to Keeson. Now he throws it up to there for 1, and they throw a little wild at first, pulling Robertson off the bag. Lopes is out, 1-6. Keeson had to wait for Mendoza to cover. He was ready to throw, but had to wait. Otherwise, they'd have had a double play. Here's Jimmy Wynn. He bops to third. Wynn popped to third and went down swinging. 1 down, 1 on. Dodgers 6th inning. Pirates lead 7-0 in Game 3. Curve low, ball 1. This means if the Pirates maintain this lead, we'll play a game tomorrow. And no matter what happens, if they win, of course, they remain over for the final game here. If they lose, they stay overnight and come in on Thursday anyhow. 1-0 pitch on the corner, but apparently high, 2-0. Ball 2. Dave Justy running down to the Pirate bullpen. Ball inside, and Buck and Bruce thought he had one. They ought to win. And a strike. Now, Wynn is arguing with Wire. And walks out, turns his back on the plate umpire, and still gives him a little bit of sauce. And warming up Dave Justin. Just in case. 3-1 delivery, high, walks him. 4th walk. So let's see on. Here's Garvey. He's over 2. He bounced to second. He lined out to the pitcher. Just before he lined out to the pitcher in the 4th inning, he hit a long, foul home run to left. Don Osborne up on the edge of the dugout steps, waiting for Stennett and Sanguine to conclude their conversation, and we'll see whether Don is coming out to perhaps chat a little with Bruce and to settle him down. Danny Murtaugh, calmly walking back, says something to Bob Skinner. And so Steve Garvey stands in with 2 on. This is the second time the Dodgers have had a runner to second base today against Keeson. Right there on the corner for a strike is Bruce. 0-1. Sal Bando hit a home run today and beat Baltimore 1-0, beating Palmer. By the Blue won it. I believe he pitched a 2-hitter by the Blue. No balls and a strike, and Garvey steps out. And he slams it to deep right, just started in, now going back, and one hands the ball and fires it in. That ball was hit very sharply to right field, and Zisk had to fight that sun a little bit to find out where it was, and he played the ball very well, going back to one-hander. That's the second ball hit at the outfield. all afternoon as Willie Crawford stands in now, bounced out to second and drew a walk. And here in this inning, this has been the roughest inning for Bruce Keeson, with 2 walks and a hard line drive out. He still leads 7-0 with 2 down here in the 6th. Justy continues to loosen for the Pirates. 2 men on for the Dodgers. At second, Buckner. At first, Jimmy Wynn. Pitch to Crawford. High fly left field. Stargell coming up. He picked that ball off his eyeballs, and Stargell picks it off his eyeballs, and the inning is over. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 left at the end of 6. Pirates lead the Dodgers 7-0.
The 5 innings of this afternoon's ballgame will be sent your way by Iron City Beer. When you're really ready to pour on the iron. The 7th inning for the Pirates, Willie Stargell, Ricky Zisk, and Bobby Robertson, the 4, 5, and 6 batters to go against Al Downing. I was mentioning as I passed in on the way from the television over the radio, he was commenting about Richie Hebner getting on in the 5th inning. He said there couldn't have been ball 4, and the ruling was, as I recall, catcher's interference on the play. Hebner did swing, and the ball is that hit the glove. The catcher, Joe Ferguson, he got it on catcher's interference. Stargell with a 3-run homer in the 1st inning, got on in a fielder's choice in the 3rd and scored on a base hit by Hebner. He scored a couple of runs and gave him in 3. Pirates lead 7-0. Downing into his 4th inning of pitching has not allowed a run and given up only 1 hit. Every inning, the Pirates have had a runner into scoring position. Willie looks at a fastball, strike 1. The more you look at baseball and clutch performances, the more you got to feel that experience is such a good thing. Fastball right there, the count of 0-2. It's tough for young players to put things in the right perspective, and particularly pitching, and it was quite obvious this afternoon with Doug Rowell. Keeson's been through this before, and the guy pitching now, Downing, has 2. Outside, the count of 1-2. Baseball is not an emotional game, but you get into playoff games such as this, it's one you have to control your emotions and be a bit more poised. Fastball almost got Willie, ran it in on the count of 2-2. Downing deceptively fast is such a nice, easy, dart-throwing sort of emotion, and his fastball runs in well on left-handed batters. Age 33, 34, very soon will be 34. Veteran of many years to the Yankees. Ground ball, second base, easy play for Davey Lopes. 1 down. Now, Downing has given a good job here.
Richie Zisk, right field.
He came on in the 4th inning, and as they shut the door, but Keeson has done the same job over 6 innings against the Dodgers. Zisk is 1 for 3. He lined out his last time up against Downing in the 1st inning. And a check swing single in the 3rd against Charlie Huffman scored. This is a low ball on. Off-speed pitch by Downing. Turned over the fastball. The 1-0 pitch by Downing. It is in there, taken by Zisk, strike 1. The Oakland A's beat Baltimore this afternoon, 1-0. And they move out in front of the Orioles 2-1. Pirates lead 7-0. The fastball away, and the count goes to 2-1 on Richie. Pirates breaking loose after having only 12 hits in the first 2 games, and all of them singles, are in with 8 hits this afternoon. 2 home runs and a double. And 5 Dodger errors. Ground ball hits Rico the second, easy play for Lopes. He's got him at first, 2 down. Bobby Robertson, 0 for 3, will step in. He was on an error in the 1st inning, a throwing error by first baseman Garvey. Doug Rowell, however, was late getting over there with a check swing by Robertson, hit to the right of Garvey, and Rowell was late covering. But they gave the error, and I think mistakenly, to Steve Garvey and Hebner, made them pay with a home run right after that. By Chase Rowell. Fastball just inside, ball on, pretty good pitch by Downing. The windup and the 1-0 delivery by Downing to Robertson. Foul back out of play. And a count of 1-1. This is Robertson's first start in the playoffs. Kirkpatrick working the first 2 games in Pittsburgh. The 1-1 pitch. High fly to center field. Jimmy Wibb come on to make the play. And that'll retire the Pirates. We get unloaded for the first time in this game. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Pittsburgh leading 7-0. The 7th inning for the Dodgers. Ron Shea, Joe Ferguson, Joe Russell with that against Bruce Keeson. And the pitcher, Al Downing, who goes that far, and the Dodgers start releasing somebody in their bullpen. Bruce Keeson over the front pitch. He's doing it. No runs and only 1 hit. An infield single by Joe Russell just past Richie Hill. And the Dodgers very just missing the first pitch. He has walked forward, issuing a walk to Joshua and a pinch hit roll in the 3rd. Walk Crawford with 2 down in the 4th inning. And walked a couple of runners in the 6th. A couple of hitters rather. Late and win in the 6th inning. Ron Shea 0 for 2. Grounded out to shortstop in the 3rd inning. In the 2nd inning, he struck out swinging in the 4th. He's the leadoff batter. 7-0 lead into the final 3 innings. And what a job Keeson has done for 6. He's the pitch by Bruce. Change up in there, strike 1. He has mixed up a good off-speed curveball with that hard sinker and hard curve. And has baffled the Dodgers over the front 6. The 0-1 pitch by Bruce. Swings and misses strike 2 on a good short curve. The 0-2 pitch by Bruce. Outside of the fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. With more blue showing in the skies above, but still some good protective cloud cover for the outfielders. Pitch inside, the curveball back up, and the count of 2-2. Pirates try to play for 1 more day of baseball, and then the next day they try to play for 1 more. They've got to win 3 in a row. The 2-2 pitch, he's outside, ball 3. Now Keeson goes 4 on leadoff batter Ron Shea to open up the 7th inning, leading 7-0. A windup in the pitch by Bruce, and a swing and a foul back out of play. Shea had 4 hits in a row that game last Sunday in Pittsburgh, just 2 days ago. And was on base 4 times in a row coming into this game, and 6 of his last 7. Keeson has kept him on 2 times, see if he can do it here. Swings and misses strike 3, and Keeson picks up another strikeout. His 4th. Second time his NLCS, and might have chased the ball pitch there. Ball was up around the letters of the shoulders. Climbed tight on Ferguson the bottom. 0 for 2. It flies very deep to left field in the 5th inning, and a curveball. Keeson got up on him. Gets far enough out over the first pitch. We didn't get the video on it. Skaggs caught it on the warning track near the 360 line. The pitch, a changeup, and it's just inside. Ball 1, straight up on the fastball that time. 330 down the lines. 395 to center field and 370 in the foul out. The 1-0 pitch. In there for a strike. The ball and a strike. This game just about 2 hours old already. Pirates out in front, 7-0. Dodgers are coming up 1 down, nobody on. Time call by Ferguson. The pitch by Bruce, and he's hit on a missed strike 2. And to a fastball up around the road. The stadium known for its paper airplanes, and one has just made it out on the playing field, St. Giles. Doing a bit of a cleanup job on it. The windup and the 1-2 pitch by Keeson. Grounded foul off 3rd. And the count rolls with a ball and 2 strikes. The same two pitchers who left the opening game of the series, Don Sutton with a masterful ball game, the finest he's ever pitched, he said, will go against Jerry Rice if it goes tomorrow, and it's right now, the Bucks lead 7-0. High pop-up behind home plate. St. Gaines with a lot of room. They have room. No, I believe it's out of play. It is. Back into the crowd. 10 feet more room here than there was a couple of years ago as he moved the plate out away from the grandstands, moving it closer to the fences to make it a better home run ballpark. And it's expanded the field of play behind home and along first and third. Count of 1-2. Ferguson the batter. And the pitch by Bruce. Just inside to the curveball at home. That's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Keeson checking the scoreboard to make sure he's got the count right at 2-2. Shakes off the sign from St. Gaines. He's back with a pitch, and it is a curveball. Pop foul again out of play. Ferguson making Bruce Keeson work here. Bruce's first year in the big leagues, 1971. And he was not one of their big picks in the draft. Fastball moved in, and the count is full, 3-2. Now the second full, 3-2 count for Keeson. He struck out saying a 3-2 pitch to open it, and again faced with that same count on Ferguson. The on-deck batter, Bill Russell, the pitch. He lost him outside, ball 4. The fifth walk to go along with 1 hit. And Keeson working on a shutout here into the bottom of the 7th inning, leading 7-0. Will face Bill Russell. He's had the only Dodger hit, a ground ball, just got by Hebner to his left, and then there's a field of the ball in the hole, but threw not in time at first base for the out. That's been the only Dodger hit. Bruce's first year in the big leagues came up with the Bucks midway through the season in 71, 1-6 and 1-5. It's just exceptional in the playoffs and the World Series. I'm trying to continue along that route here in 74. Robertson playing off the bag behind Ferguson. And the pitch on the way to Russell. He is up high. Ball 1. St. Gaines, reminding Keeson will come over top a bit more. Dodgers listening. I think Eddie Solomon, a right-hander. Downing is on deck. The 1-0 pitch. He is just outside. Ball 2. St. Gaines got here to strike that time. Goes out to talk to Keeson. And Tantrall is Don Osborne, the power pitching coach, is going to come out to talk to Bruce. I mentioned before, he has had blister problems. Justin Hernandez will start the drill in the Pirates bullpen. Or possibly Kenny Britt. It's going to be Hernandez. Don Osborne making a long, leisurely stroll out to the mound to talk with Keeson. Bruce has developed a blister, I believe. He's showing it to Osborne. And this has been a problem that he's had throughout this season. He's missed a couple of ball games, and the home plate umpire, Lee Wire, making a move out to the mound, and they may get a pitching change here because of the blister problem. No, I don't believe so. They're going to stay with Keeson. He said it's okay. The blister is an effective, it causes problems to the effectiveness of the curveball more than it would the fastball. And we'll see how Keeson works it here against Bill Russell with a count of 2-0. 1 down, Ferguson at first, and the Pirates leading 7-0. Bottom of the 7th inning. Here's a pitch by Bruce. He's in there with a strike. 2 balls and a strike. The pitch to Russell. Fly ball, left field, trouble, deep, it is foul. Out of the ballpark, but like Steve Garvey's shot earlier in the game in the 4th inning, it just hooked foul to the left of the flagpole at the 3:30 mark. Keeson got that ball inside, and the batter, Russell, falling away from it, almost had himself a home run. The 2-2 pitch. Line drive, tries to another base hit. Well, Russell has had both Dodger hits, putting Ferguson into second base, and he'll pinch hit for Al Downing. Dodger fans, come alive. It's going to be Ken McMullen, a right-handed batter to go against Keeson. And this guy has given him some good home run power in 10-hit row. Ken McMullen, 3 home runs, driven in 12 runs, hitting at 250 on the year. 15 hits, 3 of them have been home runs. Very popular man here. His wife died of cancer after giving birth to their daughter. And it's been a rather emotional year for him. Ken McMullen. He came over in that trade with Andy Messersmith with the California Angels. But the Dodgers making a serious threat against Keaton. A walk and a single with 1 down. And this is their second pinch hitter of the ballgame. In the 3rd inning, Joshua pinch hit for Charlie Helfinger Ross. Keaton set to go to McMullen with Ferguson at second. Bill Russell at first, leading 7-0. Third is in there, taking strike 1. Played up on the breaking ball. Pirates are playing this guy to pull the ball just to get 90 feet off the line in right field. Oliver into left center and Sturgill. Pull around deep in left field into the corner. Keaton means the ground ball. Curve right there, strike 2. Davy Lopes on deck. Keaton. After falling behind on Ferguson, walking in and going 2-2 on Russell. Comes back and is out in front of McMullen. 0-2. From the bat, the pitch underway, and he struck him out swinging on a breaking ball. 5 strikeouts for Keaton, and a mighty big one. And it brings up Davy Lopes, who walked in the 6th inning. Previous 2 times at bat in the 3rd, struck out looking and bounced out to second baseman Scudder in the 1st inning on a 3-2 pitch. Well, Bruce 1 out away from prolonging the shutout here. But a tough right-handed batter and Lopes stepping in. Keaton from the belt, checks the runner second. The pitch is a curve up and gets away from Sanguine. Has a play at the plate, possibly now. Well, Hall Ferguson has said a long, wild pitcher pass ball, but Sanguine let it get away from it. And I think that's a pass ball because it was in the glove and out of the glove for Sanguine. That is a pass ball. That's the second by Sanguine in this series. Nagy having a tough defensive time in the series. Had a bad ball game Sunday. And that ball apparently just sailed a bit on man. It was a curveball to Lopes, and both runners advance down. And the Dodgers get their first run of the 3rd with 2 down here in the 7th. And Keaton now will wind up to Davy Lopes. And the pitch underway. He is in there with a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Just threaded the outside corner. The 1-1 pitch by Bruce. Right there, strike 2. Fastball. Count him looking. You talk about blowing your neck and having to do some pitching. Keaton, every time he's been tested here, like sucking in Messersmith the other day, doing the same kind of pitching. You can get out of here. The count of 1 and 2. 2 down. The runners lead. The pitch. Fly ball foul. That play down the right field line. In the count holds at a ball and 2 strikes. Couple of pitchers loosening a Dodger bullpen. We don't know who they are. They're out of our view, but Ellie Solomon, our youngster, is one of them. A right-hander. Keaton taking time, steps off the mound, rubs up the ball. Keaton back on the hill, gets the sign, a wind-up on the 1-2 pitch, up high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Buckner, the on-deck batter. He wants a decision right here. A wind-up, the 2-2 pitch to Lopes. He was down low, ball 3. Now another full count by Keaton. They want another baseball. Lee Wire is going to take a look at it. Keaton shoveling it into him. And he'll have to get a new ball. The runner at 3rd is Ferguson. The runner at 2nd base, Bill Russell. The count is full. 3-2 on Davy Lopes. The on-deck batter, Joe Buckner. And a very big pitch coming up here. The pitch. He lost him, ball four. Well, that may be all for Bruce Keefer. It is. They're going to go to the left-hander. Raymond Hernandez to pitch to the bases loaded to Bill Buckner. Murtaugh fully realizing that this game can get out of hand very quickly with a long ball. Keefer ruled apart. Murtaugh wanted to go as far as he could with Bruce. And too many walks here, 2 in this inning. He's been 3 and 2 on a couple of hitters. And that's going to be all for him. The oncoming pitcher will be Raymond Hernandez. Well, Bruce goes 6 and 2/3 innings. Has given up 2 hits, both of them to Bill Russell. He has walked 6, and he struck out 5. Has not given up a run so far, but the base is loaded. At third base, Ferguson is his responsibility. Russell at second, also his, and at first base, Davey Lewis. Hernandez will be the oncoming pitcher. Raymond's record 5 and 2 on the year. And an earned run average of 2.75. He had a couple of saves. And has appeared in this series already. Pitching a couple of innings Sunday, closing out the ball game. He worked 2 innings in Sunday's game, gave up a hit and a walk and a strikeout. The one walk was an intentional walk. Hits along with the bases loaded, and Keefer will be departing. Remind again the game in the East in the American League Championship playoff. Baltimore got a good pitch ball game by Jim Palmer. He made one mistake, a home run ball to Sal Bando, and Vida Blue made it stand up as the A's won their second consecutive game, 1-0, and they took a lead 2-1 in the series. Now, Buckner will not stay in the game, and God, it's going to be Manny Moto pinch hitting Bruce Keefer, getting a fine hand from a fair-minded crowd here at Dodger Stadium. Keefer at age 24, waiting the game, and he's gone, as I said, 6 and 2/3 innings, and quite a tribute to this guy's ability to pitch big ball games. He has pitched 6, 11, 13, 19 and 2/3 innings, and so far, not given up a run in playoff or World Series competition. He can't do much better than that. But a little bit of wildness on his part. Johnny Murtaugh goes to Raymond Hernandez, and manager Walter Olson making a likewise move goes to Manny Moto, a tough right-handed batter. He got a big hit in Sunday's ball game to drive an run. Moto pinch hitting for Bill Buckner. Manny, formerly with Houston, Pirates picked him up in a great minor league trade, and he had a great major league season with the Pirates, briefly with Montreal, and lately with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Manny Moto. Moto single in a 10-hit roll Sunday against Jesse, drove and run, and then scored one. There he faces a fellow Latin American, Raymond Hernandez, with the bases loaded in 2 down in the Dodgers' 7th inning. The Pirates out in front, 7-0. But the game up for grabs here, but for the Dodgers, they're trying to work their way back into it. Hernandez will wind up with the bases loaded. He gets the sign from Manny Sanguine in the fifth. And it is blown away, ball 1. Pirates losing Dave Jesse. The windup by Hernandez and the pitch. Up high, ball 2. Two walks in the inning. And a single have loaded the bases. And Hernandez now has fallen behind 2-0 on Manny Moto. Moto gets a look at third base coach, Tom Lasorda. The 2-0 pitch. He is in there, strike 1. Hernandez has almost a casual attitude about pitching. Doesn't seem to be fussy about anything, but I'm sure the butterflies go through him like they do everybody else. He masked it very well. The base is loaded, and the 2-1 pitch underway to Manny Mota. Foul off first in the count of 2-2. Mota, I think, knocked something off the scoreboard down the right field line. Manny, a tough guy to defense. He'll hit the ball all around, and preferably, if he has his druthers, he'll go to right field very well. Tough guy to strike out. Base is loaded. Higher swing into right field. And the count of 2-2. The wind up from the 2-2 pitch. Hard shot to second. Center. Dives. He's got it. A great play by Rennie Simmons. Took a sure base hit away from Mota. A line drive to his right. And Hernandez gets out of it thanks to a great play by Rennie Simmons. You talk about quickness. He had it. No runs. 1 hit. No errors. The Dodgers ran 3. And we've completed 7. And the Pirates lead 7-0. The Dodgers come up with their 4th pitcher of the afternoon. It'll be right-hander Eddie Solomon. Pirates saw him earlier this year in the relief role. I think in August it was. And did fairly well. Right-handed pitcher, a rookie. Wasn't with the ball club at the start of the season, but comes on here in his first postseason experience to face Edna Mendoza and Ramon Hernandez. Manny Mota has gone to left field, and he, of course, will stay in that number 2 slot. The pitcher will be batting in the regular number 9 position. Solomon this year had no record. He played in 4 games and only 6 innings of pitching, gave up 5 hits. You get the attendance figure.
Championship series play. 55,953.
Yeah, the highest all-time attendance for a championship ball game, 55,953, and under a perfect setting at beautiful Dodger Stadium for it. There's a whale of the year, the attendance out here. Major 2,600,800,000. Trying to find exactly what it is. 2,642,474. More than twice as many fans as saw the Pirates play this year. Hebner leads off the 8th inning, and it's a curveball down low by Solomon, ball 1. The pitch by the right-hander inside. Is it? Into the strike up there. 2 balls and no strikes is what it is. Solomon's a big fellow, 6'2", 190 pounds, from Houston County, Georgia. The 2-0 pitch. Ground ball, weakly to first, and Steve Garrison makes the play and assisted. That'll retire Hebner and bring up Mario Mendoza. Al Downing pitched 4 strong innings, giving up only 1 hit. No runs. He struck out nobody and walked 1. Dodgers have committed 5 errors to go along with 8 Pirate hits and 2 of them home runs. The Startle, 3-run homer in the first. Hebner, a 2-run homer in the first to give them a 5-0 lead. And stretched it to 7-0 with 2 more in the 3rd inning. On pinch RBI singles by Hebner and Mario Mendoza. Moved in for his 4th time. He's 1 for 3. Pitch away by young Solomon. Ball 1. 7-0 lead for the Bucks. And the Bucks 6 out away from staying alive in 74. The 1-0 pitch. And it's outside, ball 2. Solomon was signed as a free agent, wasn't picked up in the draft in 1969. He made it to the big leagues. Fastball in there at the knees, 2 balls and a strike. The 2-1 pitch, and it's down low, ball 3. On deck batter is Ramon Hernandez. Eighth inning with the Bucks out in front, 7-0. The 3-1 pitch. He is in there with the strike. Can the count is 4, 3-2. Solomon, throughout his career, has shown an ability to throw strikes. He missed this time, however, and issues a walk. That's the 3rd walk. And the first, since the fourth inning when Oliver drew a walk against Del Downing. Hernandez up and possibly to bunt. I know it doesn't get up that many times during the course of the season, short relievers. Dodgers are looking for the bunt. Hernandez bunts foul behind home plate. Didn't have a good pocket at that time. He has not had any sacrifice bunts. Has had one hit in 4 times at bat as a hitter. The look at first. Mendoza leads, and the pitch is in there taken by Hernandez, strike 2. He was hitting away that time, not bunting. Later on KDK, immediately following the game, President Ford's speech to Congress will be rebroadcast, or broadcast rather, was take swing and a foul by Hernandez in the count of 0-2. Dipping into Mike Levine's time here. You don't mind, Michael? Hope we do it for 3 more days, Mike. Or 2 more. The count of 0-2. And swing and a miss by Hernandez, strike 3. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Pirate Baseball Network.
All the good sports around. Pirate TV, Pittsburgh.
Lenny Stennett, who opened the game with a single and scored on Stargill's 3-run homer, is the batter. Lenny is 1 for 4. He's been on base 3 times, twice on errors in the 2nd and 4th inning. Fastball inside, ball 1. Stennett with 196 hits, set an all-time high for a second baseman in Pirate history. And Oliver had the most hits this year with 198, with Stennett right behind him. The 1-0 pitch to Rennie, popped up and it's out of play behind home plate. And the count of 1-1. He made a well of the play, and the ball hit by Moda with the bases loaded in the 7th inning. Going to his right, he had to get a quick jump on it. He did. The ball wasn't much more than knee-high when he screwed. The 1-1 pitch, high fly, center field, pretty well hit, but in the ballpark, wind drifting back, fighting the sun, flips the glass as he's got it. That'll retire the puck. No runs, no hits, no errors. We stand 1, and we'll go to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Pirates lead 7-0. Well, the 8th inning for the Dodgers is the Bucks need only 6 outs to keep this thing alive for tomorrow's ball game. It'll be Wynn, Garvey, and Crawford to go against Raymond Hernandez, who got the final out in the 7th inning. Keeson went 6 2/3 and has gone 19 2/3 innings in postseason play since 1971, and has not given up a run. That is some kind of tough, gutty pitching, and Keeson came through with a good performance, I believe. And a bit of wildness, and I believe developed a bit of tenderness in that middle finger of his pitching hand with a blister. Wynn walked in 3 at bats so far. He's 0 for 2. Here's the pitch by Raymond, and it is in there, taking strike 1. Pirates playing way around the left field on Wynn. The 0-1 pitch to Jimmy, and a screwball just misses, low and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. A little bit of sunlight filtering through now, even more than at any time throughout the afternoon. The pitch to Wynn, fly ball, center field in the ballpark. And Oliver pounds the glove. He's got Wynn. That'll retire him and bring up Steve Garvey. 7-0. Pirates lead. 5-run first inning, highlighted by a 3-run homer by Willie Stargell off Doug Rao. And after 2 are out, they missed the play at first base. Rao delayed covering at first on a check swing by Robertson and throwing error by Garvey. Still ruled by the official score, but actually Garvey's mistake. And then Hebner made him pay with a home run. 5-0. They got 2 more in the 3rd inning against Charlie Huff, and that's the way it stands. Here's a pitch to Garvey. High pop-up in the infield. Ernie Stennett fighting the sun. He doesn't see it now. Bobby Robertson wants it, and he's got it. That'll retire Garvey. 2 down. Nobody on. 7-0 lead, and Willie Crawford is not going to bat. Pachurik will be the batter. Tom Pachurik. Got to be a thrill for this kid. First time in postseason play. Pachurik, a right-handed batter. Hit .240 this year. 1 home run. He drove in 24. He carried a hot bat earlier in the season. Cooled off and didn't see a whole lot of activity. Time called as Rennie Stennett asks for some help from Tony Botterome. Rennie had some trouble finding the ball that time, and I think he wants another pair of glasses. That's exactly what he's after. Stennett getting a new pair of glasses from Tony Botterome. He still hasn't found one that will suit him. And while he's getting glasses, why, the sun is tucked behind the clouds and he doesn't really need them. But you never know about that thing. Somebody has just sent out one of the best paper airplanes we've seen. Now we say that that's Lockheed employees who aren't working regularly or something. That's the best flight pattern I've seen. All right, Stennett is set to go. Pachoy pinch hitting with 2 down and nobody on in the 8th inning. The Pirates lead 7-0. The pitch by Ramon, and it is in there, down low, ball 1. Over the plate, but the wire says too low. Back again is Hernandez, and his pitch up high. 2 balls and no strikes. On deck batter, Ron Say. The 2-0 pitch by Ramon. Line drive, foul, down the right field line into the crowd. Ball had bounced back onto the field in the ball play down the right field line. Good fashion, giving the ball back. The count is 2-1. Here's the pitch of Pachoy, just inside, ball 3. 7-0 lead with nobody on in the Dodgers' 8th inning. And the count of 3 balls and a strike on Tom Pachoy, pinch hitting for Willie Croppy. Bucks, with their backs to the walls, came back swinging here very quickly in the 1st inning and keeps it. And now Hernandez trying to make it stand up. The 3-1 pitch. He lines it to right field, a base hit by the umpire. Pachoy gets a base hit. Rookie Tom Pachoy singling to right field. And that'll bring up Ron Say, who's 0 for 3. Keeson struck him out in the 4th and 7th inning. He got him to hit sharply to shortstop his first time up in the 2nd. Robertson had to say something to Hernandez, and possibly they'll all be playing off the bag behind the runner at Pachoy. He is. 2 down. 7-0 lead. Dodger 8th inning. Here's a pitch by Ramon. Fly ball, right side, easy play. Should be Stennett going back. Just the right fielder has the easy play. And that retires Say and the Dodgers in the 8th inning. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. And we've completed 8 in the Pirates lead, 7-0. You know, now we're at the top of the 9th inning, and the Pirates enjoying a 7-0 lead. See if they can add to it here against Eddie Solomon. Bucks get 5 in the 1st, 2 in the 3rd. Have been shut out since then by Al Downing over 4 innings of pitching, and Solomon in the 1 inning he worked the 8th inning. Saggy and Oliver and Starzo will bat in the Pirates' 9th inning. Gene Clines has gone down to the bullpen to start going, and he'll be coming on defensively, probably for Ricky Fisk. I'll wait for that move, however. Sanguillen has had a double in 4 at-bats that occurred in the 6th inning. Dodgers have turned over 3 double plays. 2 of them have come on line drive shots to shortstop in the 2nd inning. Sanguillen lining out, doubling Stennett off at 2nd. And in the 6th inning, Oliver lined to the shortstop Russell, doubling Sanguillen off. Here's a pitch by Solomon to open the 9th inning against Sanguillen, and a right-hander in with a strike at the knees on Manny. Some of the people departing the ballpark, and more filtering out now. Curve and a foul off the first base side. Strike 2. 7-0 lead for the Pirates, and a host of Dodger faithful have departed here. I'll tell you, baseball games, I've seen enough of them never to walk out until the last man's up. Pirates fans have found that out this year. Sanguillen, deep to left field, but I believe in the ballpark, Mota drifting over near the warning track at the 360 mark. He's got it. And a retire Sanguillen. The Dodger 9th inning, if you're looking forward to it, the 7, 8, 9 batters, Ferguson, Russell, and a pinch hitter for the pitcher Eddie Solomon. Now Oliver's stepping in for his fifth appearance. He's had a couple of walks, and on the afternoon, 1 for 2. Pitch is blown away, ball 1. The attendance today, 55,953, an all-time high for a championship game. He'll be back again tomorrow, hopefully. Down ball, right side, and looks as an easy play. First, Solomon retires Oliver. Well, Wilson's got a lot of good work out of the bullpen. Out of Downing and Solomon here since the 4th inning. Pirates have had only 1 hit. That was a double by Sanguin in the 6th inning. But they erupted quickly, and this big guy stepping in got him off on a good start. Willie starts it with a 3-run homer off Doug Rao in the 1st inning. The Dodgers shift against Willie with Say over in the shortstop spot. Russell behind the bag at second. And the breaking ball by Solomon down low for a ball. Solomon's 1-0 pitch. Willie swings and misses strike 1. There's a fastball by him. .310 in the afternoon out here, Pacific Coast time. Game started at 12:30. Change-up, and it's in there, right at the knees, taken by Willie in the count of 1-2. Good off-speed pitch by Solomon. A 1-2 pitch. Lipson in the left field, coming on as Manny Mota. Coming. He can't get there. It's a base hit. Mota doesn't run that well. They had to keep him in the game to keep some bats there. Well, a Luke single, the left field by Stargell. And it's Willie, his second hit of the afternoon, and his 5th in the series. He is 5 for 10. Make that 5 for 12. Just 1 for 4 with a Luke single, a check swing in the 3rd inning off Huck. Here's the batter. Takes the curve away for the ball. Nothing lead. Pirates 9th inning. The 1-0 pitch. Line drive left field and a base hit in front of Mota. Stargell holds at second base, and that'll bring up the redhead Bobby Robertson. Now the Pirates trying to do something here in the 9th inning after 2 are out, nobody on. Back-to-back singles by Stargell, and just can they have a runner in the scoring position for the first time since the double by Sanguin in the 6th. 7-0 lead, and Robertson 0 for 4 will step in. Robertson and the pitcher, the only 2 in the Pirate lineup that have failed to hit so far. But Robertson got on in an air and scored on the home run by Hebner in the 1st inning. Solomon's pitch underway to Robbie. Fouled out of play. Strike 1. The same pairing of Rice and Sutton tomorrow in game number 4. If the Pirates get those final 3 outs here in the bottom of the ninth. Great comeback by the Bucks after 2 bad games in Pittsburgh. Swing and a miss by Robertson, strike 2. Pirates a couple of years ago hit an awful lot of home runs against the Dodgers, but were able to win only 3 games. This year, they only hit 4, the Dodgers hit 8, and we won 8 of the 12 games against them. Well, the home run is not always a big weapon, but it has been certainly this afternoon. The 0-2 pitch, fly ball, center field, well hit for the win. Back and pedaling near the warning track has got it. That'll retire Robertson. Now Solomon gets through it. No runs on a couple of hits, no errors. We stand 2. And we'll go to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Pirates lead 7-0.
You know, it's usually not a good idea to do things halfway, but every rule has its exception. And the folks at Iron City have come up with the exception to that one, the half-a-case. 12 12-ounce cans of rich, rewarding Iron City beer. And it comes in one convenient package. It makes buying Iron City beer just a little bit easier, because you can pick up a half-a-case of Iron City cans at your favorite tavern. So the next time you're in there enjoying the company, the friendship, and a couple of cold drafts of Iron City beer, remember to ask for a half-a-case before you head for home. Now, that way, you'll be darn sure you have enough Iron City beer on hand in case friends drop by. Or even to sit back in your favorite chair to spoil yourself a little with the most beer pleasure you can get from a 12-ounce can. From the moment you crack open the can and watch that sparkling, golden richness tumble into your favorite glass, you know you're in for a special treat. So treat yourself to half a case of Iron City beer. When you're really ready to pour on the iron.
NLCS Championship ball clubs, the Dodgers and the Pirates have had good farm systems, and you can look at it on the field today. The only ball player on the Pirates field right now is the pitcher Ramon Hernandez, who didn't start in the Pirate organization. He was picked up from the minor leagues, acquired by the Charleston Charlies in 1971 for a guy named Danilo Rivas. And for the Dodgers, the same sort of a situation. Jimmy Wynn, the only player that didn't come up through their system. Ferguson leads off the ninth inning against Ramon Hernandez. On to save it here for Bruce Keeson. Fastball in there, strike one. Ferguson didn't like the call. Ramon had a bit of a scare this year. His wife suffered a burst appendix. He is recuperated. Change-up in there, right at the knees, taking strike two. Bill Russell, the on-deck batter. Twines has gone to right field, replacing Richie Zick. That's the only defensive change for the Bucks. Ramon with an 0-2 pitch underway to Ferguson, just down low in the count of a ball and 2 strikes. Hernandez saw action in the 72 playoff series against Cincinnati. The 1-2 pitch by Ramon. Foul, out of play. And the count holds at 1-2. Don Sutton on a 10-game winning streak goes tomorrow for Los Angeles. Jerry Royce goes for the Bucks. The 1-2 pitch by Hernandez. Change curve, just missing. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tried to grab the outside corner and just curved over. And the count of 2-2. Ramon wants a decision here. The windup in the pitch. And it is right there, strike 3. He caught Ferguson looking. Make a hike, Joe. Right there. Hernandez fastball backs up on the inside corner, and he caught Ferguson looking. He went away with a couple of pitches, and Joe gave way to the pitch, and he was in there, strike 3. Bill Russell, the shortstop, who has had 2 of the 3 Dodger hits stepping in. Well, this guy's having a good series. 2 hits today, 3 in the previous 2 games, total of 5 and 12 at bats. A pitch by Ramon, down low, ball 1. Pirates lead 7-0 in game number 3. After suffering the miseries of looking at Don Sutton and Andy Messersmith, they jumped on Doug Rao in his sophomore year for 5 runs in the first inning. Ground ball, the shortstop, Mendoza, an easy play. He throws, he got him, 2 down. Now the Bucks only 1 out away from taking 1974, a day further into the season, into October 10th. And that's a big day for me. It's my anniversary, October 10th. It's today the 8th or the 9th? The 8th. My clock is wrong. Today the 9th? 8th? Whatever it is, it's an enjoyable day. Pinch hitter is Rick Auerbach, pinch hitting for Eddie Solomon. Right-handed batter. Way down low in a crouch stance, trying to get a walk. Fly ball, left center field, well hit. It's going to be a base hit, I believe. Scargill going. He's got it. Yeah, he dropped the ball. Had it in his glove and dropped it. In at second with a double, Rick Auerbach. Scargill, who has made a number of good catches here, looked like he had another one. He went a long way to get to the ball, had it in the glove. I never thought he was going to get there, but somehow did, and dropped the ball as he had it in the webbing in the glove. And somehow, I think he was ready to take the ball out of the glove and thought it was the final out of the ball game, but he didn't get it. Now, in a second is Auerbach. That's a double. No error at charge. And Lopes will be the batter. He's 0 for 2. Had a couple of walks. The pitch by Ramon. It is inside. Gets away from Sanguin. Ball 1. Hernandez now trying to protect the shutout, which is kind of meaningless. All you need here is a win, no matter how you get it. A 1-0 pitch by Ramon. Low and away, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. The 2-0 pitch. He is in there, taking strike 1. And again, the batter giving way to the pitch inside. There's a strike. And Lopes doing a bit of equity acting, I guess. 2-1 pitch. Swings and a foul right at the feet of Sanguin. Strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hernandez tried to close it out and give Keeson a well-deserved victory here. Bruce went 6 2/3, gave up only 2 hits, ran into control problems, I believe, of Worcester developed. He walked 6, struck out 5, and Hernandez got out of a bases-loaded situation in the 7th inning. The 2-2 pitch. Down low in the count of 4-3-2. Sanguin. Thought he had a strike there, but the ball was too low. Full count of 3-2 on Dave Lopes, who has walked 2 times in this game, the last 2 times up. Auerbach at second, the on-deck batter, Manny Mota. And here's a 3-2 pitch. Fly ball, left field, pretty well hit, but Stargell back on the warning track, has room at the line. He's got it, and the Pirates win it. The Pirates come from way back after dropping 2 and very quickly got the big bats going today. And Keeson and Hernandez come over the great pitching performance to shut out the Dodgers 7-0. Your baseball host has been Iron City Beer, and they brought you a horrible ball game here this afternoon. The Pirates needing a win, their backs to the wall, and any other kind of cliche you'd like to use. Most appropriate, I guess. There's no tomorrow for them. And they very quickly made sure that there would be one. In the 1st inning, Rennie Stennett opened with a single. Sanguin bounced quickly to second base and looked like Lopes hit a double play ball. Tagged to Stennett as so it appeared. We wrote down a double play, but he did not get the tag at Stennett. He moved into second. Sanguin was out at first. Oliver walked. And Willie Stargell, who has never hit a home run in World Series or postseason play, hit his first, and it came at an opportune time. A 3-run shutout, Doug Rao. After Zisk grounded out to the second out of the inning, Bobby Robertson on a check swing hit quickly off the first base side to the right of the first baseman, Steve Garvey. The pitcher, Doug Rao, failed recovery at a late start, and in his absence of getting over there, had to hurry. He missed the bag at first base, and for some reason they gave the error to Garvey, and Hebner made him pay for it. He hit a home run, a 2-run shot, and the Bucks scored 5 runs in the first to chase Rao. Charlie Huff came on at the final out, retired them in the second, but in the 3rd inning, Oliver worked a single. Stargell on a fielder's choice. After Oliver had moved to second on a pass ball, was on at first. Oliver out on the play from short to third. And Zisk on a check swing, singled into center field, with the runner Stargell stopping at second. Robertson flied to center field for an out with 2 down. Hebner came through with a big 2-out single to drive in a run and move runners into first and third. And then Mendoza got an infield single to drive any other run. That's with all the scoring. And Bruce Keeson, in a great pitching performance, shut out the Dodgers through 6 2/3 innings. He gave way to Ramon Hernandez in the 7th inning after the bases were loaded on a walk to Davey Lopes. And Manny Mota pinch hit for Bill Buckner. And with that, on a line drive out on the 2-2 pitch, Rennie Stennett made a great grab of the ball, going to his right, and took whatever threat the Dodgers had riding, and he shut them out in the 8th and the 9th inning without any trouble at all. Keeson, by the way, we mentioned earlier, has now worked in postseason play in the 71 playoffs and the 71 World Series, and also in the 72 playoffs. And here this afternoon, 6 2/3 innings, he has pitched 19 2/3 innings and is not allowed to run under pressure situations of championship play, and he's only 24 years of age. Quite a testimonial to the ability and the poise of Bruce Keeson. He's the winning pitcher. Doug Rao is the losing pitcher. The line score, 7 runs, 10 hits, and no errors. The Dodgers, no runs on 4 hits, and they committed 5 errors. It was a different ball game, and the ball clubs looked exactly different from what they did in Pittsburgh. Tomorrow, game number 4 will be underway at 12:30 Pacific Coast time, 3:30 back in Pittsburgh. John Signo will have his pregame show about 15 minutes prior to that. And we'll remind you that tomorrow, Jerry Royce will go against Don Sutton, who has won 9 in a row, and I think 14 of his last 15 ball games, and he's about due, you would think, to maybe have a bad day. Maybe we can have a good one against him. Willie Stargell on the field, ready for a post-game show, and he's got to be enjoying this one. And for our engineer, Sam Sacco, and for our producer Bill Richards back at KDKA, and for the Gunners out Prince, Nellie King saying so long from Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles. This game was brought to you in part by Iron City Beer. When you're really ready to pour on the iron by Daily Juice Natural Juice Plus. Natural fruit drink concentrate and Daily's Cocktail Time cocktail mixes. By Joy, nature's high-protein food for dogs. Higher in protein, and it still costs less than most other brands. And finally, by your Pirate Land Chrysler Plymouth Theater, who has immediate delivery on America's #1 selling compact. We're sorry to take all your time, but we're glad to be back, and we hope to see you again tomorrow. The final score, the Pirates win it 7-0. This is the Pirates Baseball Network.